in my role, you're out there looking for the future. You're sort of holding back the floodwaters of destruction, trying to solve problems before they become major issues. And you don't get to be out there seeing the future of our industry as much. I see it in our people, which is great, of my company. But when I went to Women in Aviation, I remember just sitting there seeing the excitement, and from the littlest girls that were there to the more advanced people that are well in their career, but they're celebrating not only just their role in the industry, but also their aspiration to be that aviator in that role. And it wasn't like some of them that's all pilot focused. No. That's what I loved about Women in Aviation. It covered everything that touches aviation. And that was inspiring to me.
On Air, brought to you by Women in Aviation International, strategic partners Amazon and United. While he's normally based in St. Louis, I met up with Rick Leach, President and CEO of GoJet Airlines in Denver. We talked about not only the history of the airline, but the importance of supporting women in aviation. Well, welcome everyone to WAI On Air, and I'm really pleased that Rick Leach, CEO, President, and founder of GoJet Airlines, is here with me in the studio today.
Happy to be here.
So why don't you walk us through, for our listeners, really who GoJet Airlines is, because I know that it used to be 3 airlines.
Yeah, well, GoJet wasn't 3 airlines. GoJet was a member of an airline company that had 3 airlines, Trans States Holdings. And so I was the president and CEO of both Compass, Trans States, and GoJet Airlines, which turns 20 years old this year. We started the airline. I founded the airline with a great team back in 2005, and we've grown a lot since then. We had a relationship with United and a relationship with Delta through those years. When COVID hit, we singly focused our efforts on United with the new CRJ 550 that we designed and created at GoJet, which is pretty exciting for an airline to create a product and bring it to market that is new and innovative and sort of solves the problems that some people tend to think exists in the regional experience. And so we think we've hit a home run on that, and others are sort of mimicking that product right now. So, but we've got a lot of exciting things going on at the company. We've obviously COVID slowed everybody down, but we've rebounded a lot. We're sort of back to full strength and adding lots of equipment. We'll be adding an aircraft a month through the end of the year, which is exciting. If we go back to this, January of 24 through the end of 25, we would have almost doubled the airline size. So that's very exciting. So we're not only recruiting just for the normal maintenance of the airline in all of our positions, but we're recruiting for lots of growth. So we're probably, if you put the percentages, as a growing airline with organic growth, probably the fastest growing regional right now percentage-wise. And so it's an exciting time for us at GoJet.
That's great. Give us a little bit of statistics in terms of where are your hubs, what's your fleet size, your route structure.
Okay, we're going to have about 58 aircraft in service through this current crunch of aircraft by October, November timeframe of this year. We are corporately based in St. Louis, and we have crew bases in St. Louis, Chicago, Newark, and also Washington Dulles. Our hub operations are Newark, Washington Dulles, and Chicago. With right now, and it changes from scheduling season to scheduling season. Right now, Chicago's probably the largest hub for us with the 550 and with United, but the other ones are obviously holding their own. We have crew bases in all 3 of those locations as well. Our heavy maintenance base is located in St. Louis, but we do have maintenance operations in all of our hubs, of course, but then we have a maintenance maintenance hangar operation in Richmond as well. And we also started a year ago, one of the few regionals that has a 145 certificate. So we're able to do heavy maintenance for other airlines at the same time.
That's great. Talk to me a little bit about your fleet, because I'm very intrigued that you, as a president and CEO, got very involved in designing the 550.
Well, Not so much really involved, but it was sort of like a crisis situation. What do? I had all these CRJ 700s that were coming off program, and it wasn't that the 700 wasn't a great aircraft in the market, because it is. It's like a little sports car, has great performance. It's really a good airplane with a lot of life left in it. And so, but because of the flexibility with the scope clauses and stuff, the 175 was certified both at 76 seats and 70 seats. So the majors thought, okay, if we have to sign up for these new contracts, should we get an aircraft that if we get more scope, we're able to just put more seats on this aircraft? You couldn't do that with the 700. So it sort of fell out of favor because of its lack of flexibility. So we had these aircraft going, what are we going to do? Because not anybody was really wanting to sign up for aircraft that didn't allow them to adjust when scope allowed that adjustment to take place. And so I thought, obviously a lot of people that count on me to figure out, what's the next new thing? What's the next new opportunity? What does our partner United need? Where are they maybe, I don't want to say challenged, because their product is great. I mean, they're very focused on premier experience and things like that. But, where sometimes are they maybe not competing on a level playing field, maybe with standard 50-seaters, 145s or 200s, compared to the CRJ 700, the 900, or the 170, 175. So dual class with single class is not really in some of the key markets, like a Newark, for instance, or even Chicago, is not an even playing field. And a lot of people want that premier experience, a little more comfort, first class product available to them, and things like that. So we looked at what could I do with this aircraft to maybe create an opportunity that would be an opportunity for GoJet, but also create fill a need that I felt our partner United had. Now, the kiss of death is always in this business been taking seats off an airplane. This is a 70-seat airplane we took 20 seats off of. But because the aircraft, I'm using the wrong terminology, sort of fell out of favor, the economics of the aircraft changed a little bit because of ownership, which is a big deal. You're paying $160,000, $170,000, $180,000 a month, and all of a sudden that aircraft might be $100,000 or $80,000 or $90,000 or $95,000 a month. You saved a bunch of money there in that ownership, which allowed you to maybe have an envelope of opportunity to create a product on an aircraft that's higher cost to operate, that's more in line with the 50-seat cost structure. And that was important, because we didn't know how this product, that is a premium product, and we designed it. It's got 10 first class seats, 10 extended, like legroom seats. 20, and 20 coach seats, standard coach in the back. Plus we took, what are all the complaints that people have about regional experience? I have to check my bag, my carry-on bag, because it doesn't fit on the airplane. I got to wait at the jetway for my bag to come up. I don't have enough space. I mean, I can't get a first class upgrade if I want one. There's not enough seats up there. All those things, or I can't even get the extended legroom seat because there's not enough opportunity. So we checked all those boxes off and took all of those, let's say the gripes or the challenges people see in regional flyer, and removed them, and even gave them a few other things that they didn't expect on this aircraft. And so it is a premium experience aircraft. It's definitely a network aircraft. It's an aircraft that United has embraced in a big way. They've not only adding more aircraft with us, but with their partners, SkyWest, and we've sort of assisted with some of that because we're sort of the think tank and all the knowledge behind it. Even one of our competitors' brands over at Delta is flying the 550. So the fact that the market has not only embraced the aircraft from a United experience, but from a market experience that another product, Delta, another mainline product like Delta, is starting to grow and use the 550 program, means that we might have hit the bullseye, or we did something right. So it's been an exciting program for our people. Our people are very proud of delivering. They don't see this as your grandparents' 50-seater. This is a whole premium experience product, and they deliver it in that way. It's rated many months towards the very top, if not the top, of all the aircraft in United's fleet. And for that to be held by a regional aircraft means we're doing something right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You also share with me there's kind of an improved in-flight experience.
There is. Well, of course, all the bags fit on this airplane. We call these baggage monuments that roll up, and they can put their bags in there. So they just grab their bag and go. They're not waiting on the jet bridge for 10 or 15 minutes. missing their connection or being nervous about missing their connection. That doesn't happen. The first class compartment has what we call like an on-demand beverage and snack center, which is really cool. When you come in, it's all lit up. It's very nice and cleanly designed with snacks in it and beverages. And there's a refrigerator in there where if for some reason the flight attendant might be involved or busy with something, they could grab some snacks if they wanted them, grab a drink if they wanted them. And that's part of the 10 passengers that sit up in first class, their experience as well.
That's great. So you said you're taking these 550s one a month now? So
We'll,
how
we'll
many
take
total?
we'll take one a month, and through the rest of this year, we'll get our fleet up to about 56 or 58, and then we're out looking for others. There are some other, we use the base of the 700 fuselage for this aircraft, and there are some other ones in the world out there, and there are even some domestically as well. So we are working hard to identify and even hope and have plans to grow even beyond what we have going on through the end of this year.
That's great. So to support this expansion of the fleet, I'm sure you're looking to hire. So what kind of talent?
Lots and lots of hiring.
Okay.
Lots of
what
hiring.
areas?
Well, obviously pilots, you need those, right? A couple years ago, you couldn't find enough first officers, right? Obviously, a lot has changed in the industry with wages and the return on investment that has happened with the pilot profession, so that the schools are filled. We're seeing a higher caliber and quality of pilots that are out there now. So that's exciting for the carrier because you're really getting some really cream of the crop, great aviators. Obviously, for the candidate, there's a lot more competition, right? There's probably 100 people for every 10 jobs at least. Right now, but they're great folks, and they got to get involved. So we're looking for people that really want to be at GoJet, want to invest in that experience. Yeah, we'd love them to be there forever, right? Retire from GoJet, and people have done that, but we want them to have an impact when they're there. So we're looking for people that want to be there, whether they're pilots. We're looking for great technicians. Our maintenance department is a busy place right now with a lot going on with the 145, but also with the 145 certificate, the MRO, but also with what we're doing to build and grow our fleet, because we do all these conversions in-house and we do all of our heavy work in-house. So we've got a very vibrant and very busy maintenance operation. So obviously great technicians we're looking for. Obviously we need flight attendants that's going to, be there for safety and service on our product. And we're out there really, in all of our hubs and all of our areas trying to find the best folks to represent our airline in that capacity as well. But everything, dispatch, all those roles, we're looking for quality people right now. When you're a growing airline, you need folks, and we want people that are going to come here and challenge us to be better, make us better because you're part of the carrier. And fortunately for us, and fortunately because of the opportunities with the talent that's out there right now, we're finding those folks, and we're pretty excited about the future with the kind of folks we're attracting to GoJet right now.
Okay, we're going to take a short break for a message from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with a conversation with Rick Leach.
Women in Aviation International's Aviation for Girls program is dedicated to inspiring girls around the world to pursue their dreams and empowering the next generation of female aviation and aerospace leaders.
So obviously workforce issues, as we talk about bringing that talent in, I would imagine that as a company, that company culture has to be one that fits with the variety of people out there. And I have to say that I see GoJet at every organization, whether it's NGPA, OBAP, PAPA, and of course here at Women in Aviation International, you have a very big presence. So why is that important to you?
I'll tell you, the team has known it's been important for a decade plus. They've been going to these things and doing all this great work behind the scenes that I was aware of. You're aware they're doing these things, but I wasn't really aware of what goes on at these things. So 2 years ago, my first event was Women in Aviation Long Beach. I attended one of these events, and it was the most eye-opening, exciting. One of the most exciting things I've done in a long time in the aviation sector, because, in my role, you're out there looking for the future. You're sort of holding back the floodwaters of destruction, trying to solve problems before they become major issues. And you don't get to be out there seeing the future of our industry as much. I see it in our people, which is great, of my company. But when I went to Women in Aviation, I remember just sitting there seeing the excitement, and from the littlest girls that were there to the more advanced people that are well in their career, but they're celebrating not only just their role in the industry, but also their aspiration to be that aviator in that role. And it wasn't like some of them that's all pilot focused. No. That's what I loved about Women in Aviation. It covered everything that touches aviation. And that was inspiring to me. And when I looked at the excitement in them, and I got to talk to these young people, and now I get to speak at these events, and we hold our own events, and we get to really socialize with them a little bit more. And I get to know them on a more of a personal level, and they get to know us and GoJet on a more personal level. And they see that we don't want to just attend to be an exhibitor, but to attend to sort of immerse ourselves in whatever their mission or objective is, because we know there's great aviators here at Women in Aviation, and that's what we're looking for. We know there's great aviators at OBAP and PAPA and NGPA and all of those organizations that help bring into our industry this vibrant energy of folks that are underrepresented in our industry. And now folks see, and that's what we love about participating, and we try to participate where we're a more active participant at all these events, because we want people to see that, one, we're still around, and one, we're not just, we're really showing up. We think it's important for us to not just have our name on a banner, but us to participate in a more active role and active way, and they know that GoJet's here. We want them to know that GoJet's here. And so it's exciting because these organizations are making people realize, I can do that. I see people that look like me or that are me or like me, and I don't have to know somebody, but these organizations are there to help me build that roadmap, to find that path to get in and to make connections. And even though maybe my staff, I give them trouble about the fact that I've been traveling with them now for 2 years at all these events, but they really do. If they really said, Rick, we really rather you not do this, I'd probably stay back. Maybe some of them, maybe not at Women in Aviation. I'd go to that one. NGPA is fun too. They're all really fun. I love them all, but I would want to go to them. But I think it brings value because I show up, and I'm a CEO and a president of a company. My chief operating officer shows up. Some of our key directors show up, and we're here in the flesh, representing. And I hope it makes us stand out a little bit. I don't want all the airline CEOs. I got a lot of good friends that are my peers out there, the airline CEOs. They're good staying home doing their jobs. I like that we're the only ones doing this right now, but it has helped us a great deal for them to not only see our culture, what they maybe read about us sometimes, but what they get to experience, where they get to meet our people, from the people that are making the decisions of where our talent is coming from, up to the people that are helping run the day-to-day operation and the company as a whole and making its plans. So I think they see that we're an approachable company, and when we get the opportunity to participate in organizations like Women in Aviation, we get a chance to really show who we are, and that we value what Women in Aviation allows us to bring to the table as well. So it's important to us to be part.
Absolutely. And for those listening out there that haven't been to an event where you are, I have to say that the trademark is the karaoke
Oh my gosh.
evening.
Yes,
and
that's true.
The stellar singer is you because of your professional background in singing. So tell me about that.
Well, back when I was out of high school, I sang when I was in my later years in high school, and I had a contract with a group called Quid Productions, and we had a band, and we had a big performance group that did like big conventions and political events and world fairs and state fairs, and you go two different ways. So that's what we did, and I did that, and I had a scholarship that paid for my college to do that originally, a vocal performance major. So that I sort of kept that quiet along with other things I did in my life before my aviation career began, until an article was done by Catherine did an article on me many, many years ago that sort of laid it all out there. And then everybody sort of knew my background. But the singing thing, it was at an event once, and someone had a karaoke thing, and they threw my name, and I was going to be in the shadows and didn't want that part of me to be known. I sort of left that in the background. But once it started, you couldn't stop it. So It's sort of fun. It's become our thing. The very first time we did it was a year ago at Women in Aviation. It was a huge success. And then we thought, oh, we should do that again. But the problem was Papa was there, OBAP was there, NGP. Everyone's like, you got to do that at our.
Now you're on your
now
own
you gotta-
singing circuit again.
it's become our shtick, in a way. But it is so fun. And we had over 300 people there last night. It was just a lot of fun. I look at this as, you remember back in the 70s and the 80s, especially the 80s, we had what they call there were these airline appreciation events. We'd have like these industry events where every month, every city would have all the airlines in that community at that hub airport would have a party and just celebrate the industry, being part of the industry. I don't think we do that enough anymore. We work hard. We work really, really hard. There's less of us than there were back then. There were a lot more airlines, right? And there's less of us. They're much bigger, bigger carriers. But what we really love this karaoke event is it's GoJet and they get to see our people, in the wild, having a great time along with them, celebrating the industry. But that is we all to come together because it takes us all to make this industry work. And we need to celebrate what we do. We really do, because it takes all of us. Yeah, some of us are competitors, but we all have a role to play that makes our industry what it is. And I think it's important for us to come together and celebrate that. And the karaoke event sort of becomes that. It's just a lot of fun.
It's great. And it makes you a very
fun.
Approachable company and a very approachable leadership team.
Well, I think it does. I think it does.
Which is very important.
And I think that's a byproduct that happened from it. Originally, it was, what do we do to just something a little unique and different, right? That we could have some fun with, that we don't see happening at these things. And sort of it's become that, we had people lined up waiting to get in last night, which was really sort of fun. It's great. And what I do love is getting a chance to walk around and talk to everybody. And I get up and sing, and then they're like, oh my gosh, it's just because they wondered if that old chubby guy has a voice, but the good thing about karaoke is, and it's what we should do as an industry, you support everybody that has the guts to get up there and sing. You're clapping and cheering for them no matter what. And we need to clap and cheer for each other in this industry all the time.
I'm going to pick up on that, because I got to say thank you personally for being such a great male ally to the women in this industry, no matter what we're doing. And this is challenging times right now, frankly, for us as an organization. And we appreciate you supporting us. And I know that there are certain things, as you look across your workforce, you probably try to embrace more diversity or more women, men, Talk a little bit about kind of growing that culture in your airline to have diverse employment.
Look, I mean, we show up at these events not because we have to, because everybody else shows up, because we're looking for great aviators. We're looking for folks that are going to make us better. And we are, I think it was last year, Women in Aviation, we had a panel that we did. And our percentages of women in all the various roles are higher than the national average within the industry. But we have a long way to go in all these, like the women in aviation, and whether it's the African American population, the Asian population, the Latino population, whatever. We have room to grow in this industry, and we have to be open to that. So we're out there, and look, you don't get a job in the airline business unless you have the capabilities and the drive and the quality to get it done. But all of those qualities and all those characterizations that we need to make us successful exist at all these events that we go to. And we're out there really looking for those folks because we want them to be part of our company. We want them to represent the people we serve, our customer base, right? Who are people from all walks of life, all over the place. And I believe that we at GoJet really do a good job at that. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't get a seat in that flight deck unless you have the credentials, right? You gotta be able to do the job. I want to sleep at night. I want to know we have the most highly trained aviators in these positions, maintaining our aircraft, serving and meeting the safety needs of our customers, dispatch that stuff, as well as in the pilot positions. And we're getting those positions by attending these events. It's important for us to bring that representation in. And I'll tell you, for me, getting the time where I get to sort of pause from my day-to-day chaos that I deal with in my office to be able to go out there and see my team interacting with future aspiring folks that are hopefully going to come and become members of the GoJet family, it's exciting. But the folks that are out there talking to those folks are folks that look like them, and they are like them, and they represent who they are. And we want them to be our future leaders. I mean, I believe our industry's future is bright because of the people I see at all these events that we go to, and quite frankly, of the people that I see who make up GoJet Airlines. For me as a CEO, I couldn't go and do all these things at these events if I didn't know the airline was running really, really well back home every day, all the time, every flight. And they're doing that. So I'm able to go out there with my team and better represent the company in a way that we hope raises awareness of the value we place in the culture and the value we place in these organizations that we're participating with, because it is important to us. It's not something that we feel like we just need to do because everybody else does it. We need to do it because it makes us a better company. It makes us a more successful organization when we are able to draw from this pool of amazing talent we see at all these organizations that we've been able to participate in.
So you've made basically your entire career in aviation, staying with an airline, and I think we don't get that message out enough to our next generation of aviators, that whatever your passion is, you can do it in aviation and make a lifelong career of it.
That is
What are your thoughts?
It's so true. I was just, the panel I was just sitting on with Catherine was so, any emphasis or whatever you appreciate or you want to do or you enjoy in life, probably you could find a way to apply that knowledge or that skill in the aviation industry. We are an aviation, especially the big airlines. They're very complex businesses that touches on just about anything. There's probably very few things you could probably throw at me that I can't say there's an applied way to use that skill in the aviation industry. And so there's a place for everybody. The thing is, what we have to do, and it's not only my responsibility or your responsibility, but it's all of our responsibilities that are individuals that make up this profession of aviators that makes up our airline industry, whatever role we play, is that we need to find a way to outreach and at young ages and to let people know that you don't have to know anybody. Like back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, if you didn't know somebody, you thought you couldn't get a job in the airline business unless you knew somebody. That's not the case. That's not the case. I mean, you don't need to know, because there's these great organizations that are help developing these roadmaps, showing you the pathways, here to guide you, here to mentor you, to provide you with a mentor. And I think that we all need to realize that that's our role, no matter where we're at in our career, is whenever we have the opportunity to sort of pay it forward a little bit, or to be out there and represent and sort of inspire in that young girl or boy what aviation could mean to them, no matter what it is, because it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. It really is. It sort of gets in your blood. It really does in a meaningful way. It's sort of unlike anything else that you probably could do in many cases. I mean, a lot of people can make those arguments, but I think our industry is very much a way of life, because we spend so much time at it. Probably our friendships and our circles of friends are garnered from around a lot of those people we've met within the industry. A lot of our significant others are met from within the industry. It becomes a way of life for us. I always tell the new folks that are coming into the company, I go, if you're going to try to make this a job, it's going to be hard, because it's really a way of life. You're going to love it, you're going to hate it. I said, but it's going to have a way of having you experience things that others could only imagine. It's going to open up the world to you in so many ways. You've got to enjoy it. You've got to experience it. And it's an opportunity that I think everybody should have the ability to be part of, and they all do. But we, as the gatekeepers, as the folks that are in the industry today, have got to help spread and outreach that message. And so we try to do that as best we can, but it's got to be an army of all of us, and that's something I try to communicate to anyone that'll listen that they think, oh, it's the company's job to do that. No, it's all of our jobs. At your kid's school, when there's a little career day, or you could talk about, what's going on in the airline business or inspire them, take the opportunity to do it.
Okay, well, thank you, Rick Leach, for being in the studio today. We appreciate all your thoughts on GoJet Airlines. Founder, President, and CEO, thank you again.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It's always great catching up with Rick. And trust me, if you get an invite to a GoJet karaoke event, go. Until then, we'll see you on the next episode of On Air.